Look at this mountain. On one side, a living wall of green, tall forests, wet ground, clouds that seem to hang on the slopes like they belong there. Cross the same ridge, and the land turns brown. Sparse, open, dry enough that people call it desert. Same mountain system, same planet, same air mass, only minutes apart on a map. How is that possible? We're over Oregon, the Cascade Range, with Mount Hood as our landmark. A single volcanic peak you can point to, sitting on a wall of mountains that rewrite the weather. From the Pacific, moisture rides inland. Storms don't need a passport. They just need a path. That path runs into rock and ice. The Cascades rise like a barrier across the middle of the state, and Mount Hood is one of the places you can see the barrier's height. On the western slopes, the forests tell you what the sky keeps delivering. Dense canopy, dark greens, places that stay soaked for months of the year. Even when you're not standing on a beach, the woods can feel coastal in their wetness. Then the land falls away to the east, into Oregon's high desert. Sage, dust, wide light, far less rain. The sky feels larger because the canopy is gone. From a satellite, the split is almost unfair. Come in from space, and the Cascades draw a line you can read without a textbook. One side of the image loads as deep vegetation. The other fades into dry country. Mount Hood's icy cap marks the crest, a bright pin in the middle of the paradox. This isn't a paint job. It's weather-meeting terrain. Moist air coming off the ocean is forced upward as it climbs the Cascades. Rising air cools. Cooler air can't hold as much water vapor. Clouds thicken. Rain and snow fall on the windward side, the side facing the moisture. That's why the west looks lush. What happens next is quieter, and just as important. After the air crosses the crest, it descends the lee side. As it sinks, it warms. Warming air can hold more moisture again, so clouds thin and rain becomes scarce. The mountain doesn't steal water like a villain in a story. It rearranges where the water can fall. Scientists call the dry lee climate a rain shadow. You don't need the label to see it. You need the place. On the ground, west of the crest, creeks, needles, and forest shade that holds the damp. East of the crest, open country where shrubs win, trees thin out, and the light hits the soil hard. Numbers make the contrast sharper, without replacing the picture. On the western Cascade slopes, annual precipitation can climb toward many tens of inches, in places near 75. Downwind in the Oregon high desert, Bend's long-term average is about 10.5 inches a year. That's not a small difference. That's two climates sharing one mountain wall. And Oregon isn't alone. On Hawaii's Big Island, trade winds push moisture up the windward slopes, green, cloud-kissed forest. On the lee side, the land browns into dry lava country. Same rule, different ocean, different mountain. Once you know the pattern, you start seeing it everywhere mountains stand in the path of moist air. Washington's Cascades and the Columbia Basin, the Sierra Nevada and Owens Valley. Ranges that cast dry shadows the way trees cast shade. From above, Earth keeps leaving receipts. A green slope, a brown valley, a ridge between them. Not magic, not a mystery forever. Just air, forced to climb, then allowed to fall. And a landscape that shows you the answer, if you're willing to look.